Hi. Buying a Tesla for taxi work is quite a bold move. Today we'll find out how much a nearly new Tesla with a mileage of 2,000 kilometers brought from the USA costs. The car has received its license and taxi wrap. I've already driven 4,000 kilometers as a taxi in Moscow. We'll also learn how to charge the Tesla, how long the charging takes, and what unique features this car has. Let's take a ride around Moscow and chat with the Tesla owner. Enjoy watching. Yeah, I'm sitting in the Tesla, basically. I've already used car sharing, but now I'm going to drive a Tesla. So hey everyone, it's Anton. Hi, his name is Alex. You have your own YouTube channel. Yes, today we're going to do a review of the Tesla. This Tesla is working as a taxi. The mileage is actually quite low. That's 6,000 kilometers. Yeah, 653. It was bought with a mileage of 2,000 kilometers and brought from the USA. How much did it cost?
It cost me
3.5 million?
Well, that's it. It's already 3.5. I got the vehicle registration certificate. This is an expert evaluation.
The Tesla was bought at an auction in the USA with a mileage of 2,000 kilometers. The interior still had the protective film, so the car was almost new, but with some damage that you can see in the photo right now. Make sure to open a Gazprom Bank credit card with free service and free delivery right to your home. 180 days of interest-free shopping forever and with no additional conditions. The credit limit is up to 1 million rubles. The link is in the description. The Tesla, which we are seeing right now. Well, it looks like new. You wouldn't say it was damaged. This was its condition. Is this you order?
So I already picked it up in Minsk. They brought it to Minsk and here it is. 2,000 mileage and now here it is 6,000. So you can check the condition of the Tesla just by the VIN number. You enter the VIN number into Google or Yandex search and it just pulls up a website from the auctions where it was listed. So it was like a pause. In fact, it was still all wrapped in protective films. I bought it, there were films on the doors, there were films everywhere. So it was here, a little film, and here, the film was everywhere. Filmed.
In short, it was new.
Yeah, and with that money you could have bought, of course, a black interior, but the mileage was higher. But it could have been in worse condition.
The car is really fresh and the interior is very clean. Like from the factory.
Look how he sees that it's a van. It shows that it's definitely a van.
Yes, here in front of us is a van. It's not just a simple sedan. Yeah, there are sedans. And he shows that it's definitely a van.
And now we're going to pass by that sedan and he will show that it's definitely a sedan. If it's an SUV, he shows the SUV.
Uh-huh, it was right there, uh-huh. I probably don't know how to get out of here. I used to live here recently and this is your car, so it's comfortable, right? It works well.
Yes, this is a car for Complex, but the most interesting thing is that you can do business on it online. And because you can operate it for business online, you can use all the lower rates, like Comfort, Plus Comfort, and Economy without a license. Well, where did you put the car? I submitted documents for a license. I was subject to permission. I still proved a couple, made a Plus that is gasoline. The essence is that you can't do it like that, but if you really want to, I just decided to try it out, how it would be for me. Interesting. The reaction will be interesting, as they will react. And the reaction is that they actually just sit down and use their phones. They're filming stories, taking stories and sending them. Yeah, you see how people are approaching the car.
I'm checking your range. So how many kilometers?
Well, if you take it from 100 to 0, that's 410 kilometers. But to avoid draining the battery, I charge it up to 80% and I spend up to 20. Around 20, it becomes 25, 28, 30. I can already head towards the charging station to avoid draining the battery. And in this mode, it's enough for me. About 200 kilometers, 200 in city mode. Yeah, this is in taxi mode. Actually, that's just enough for a shift. Because you don't take airports right away with Tesla, you don't take any long distances because you're not interested in that. In fact, there are long distance rides that are 150 km, 120 km, even 80 km. Some order to Poltavsk. You left for SCAD and when you come back, you'll need to go straight to charge. But why? You can drive around my area here and after you've driven around my area, you should have a decent range left. So you drove a little, maybe about 40 kilometers. Yeah, that's about 2-3 hours. But did you earn the same as that guy who went 50 kilometers there and 50 back, so 100 kilometers? And in terms of money, you earn the same. So I tried to drive around my area in the Tesla, not taking any long distance rides because, well, it's not profitable, you see. When I used to drive a gasoline car, yeah, I loved long trips. I had shifts when I went to Sevgi twice in one shift. I went there and back. So 6,000 for the trip. And I went there and back again. So that's another 6,000. And it turns out, well, not bad at all. You can't drive like that during tests because because you'll immediately have to go charge after the first trip.
Subscribe to my Boosty to access unique content. Click the link and subscribe to support me. And I kept trying to make new videos for you. Thank you.
And you hear the music from the car creaking. Yeah, but you don't really pay much attention to it. Well, yeah, when there's a passenger sitting in the back, actually, it doesn't exist. It seems that when you're driving alone, you hear everything, but when you have a passenger, you don't notice anything. The windshield wipers are splashing like at the sea. So, the girls are looking from the windshield wipers. Everyone is watching, you know, the streams you walk, and everyone is taking photos. All the passengers are getting in. They're all heading to the hotel with, yeah, it's cool. That's what it's called. I believe it. I do everything myself. Yeah, they keep trying to poke at me. I need the instructions, yeah, and I need to print the sticker. Just press.
Or just hit the Yandex Go, the minimum instruction. Like, and also taxi, the door opens.
So this topic was on the site. For 10 tests, it's not an option to work in Moscow. I have a couple of Tesla cars in the park. Like I have one, Kostya has one, and there's also Sanya and a few more taxis. That is, in fact, there are not so many taxis in Tasovo, but it's such a thrill. The charging is free. Parking without a park.
And here, a bus was shown. So it shows what bubble is in the car that's passing by.
Look, there's going to be a bus again.
He passed by the IP5 and he showed that it's a ratchet. Yeah, we're passing a bus right now. And it will show that a bus will pass by us. It's already showing.
Yeah, it's a bus.
What principle does your heater work on in the cabin?
You can adjust it manually, or you can set it to auto, and it will do it by itself. I just set the temperature, and it will adjust the fan speed by itself, and you can also turn on the heating. I paid a person who got in touch with someone from Tesla to help me to do the self-driving because they are still starting the car. This is my Tesla car. When they set up the self-driving for me, I can just use my phone, and that's it. I won't need any card. I approached with my phone. As soon as I walked away from the car with my phone, it unlocked by itself. And I, for example, am sitting at home watching. I turned up the temperature, it's hot in the car, I pressed it, and it cooled down by itself. When I have this feature available, I can turn the rear seat heating on and off. So right now I can't do that. I can turn it on while I'm in the back. That is, I turned it on for you. You will have a draft for 5 hours. Yeah, and now I turned it off, and that's it. It's not blowing for you.
I would ask you to turn it off because it was blowing on my knee. Yeah, but actually the air conditioner is powerful. It cools really well.
Yeah, it really handles it well. It's not like the sun is shining on you through the panorama, so there's the panorama.
And you can see now how the rain is falling, the clouds. It's really cool. Riding at night, everything is glowing.
Generally, it's interesting. Look at this. Setting it up like this, and then it will start blowing.
It's worth noting that the Tesla owner saves on fuel, and he doesn't have to pay for parking even inside the garden ring, where parking costs reach outrageous amounts. This is especially important in a taxi when you're waiting for a passenger or often need to make stops between point A and point B. And I also like that the Tesla is a simple car. The Tesla's electric motor is the size of a watermelon and delivers 382 horsepower. The engine has a liquid cooling system. And what do your friends and colleagues, the taxi drivers, say? How do they react to your purchase?
Everyone immediately starts teasing, asking where the engine is. I can open it, and it clearly says front trunk, meaning there's no engine there. Yeah, everyone wants to play around, open the hood and show it off. Actually, there's a hood and a small trunk there.
What configuration do you have for your Tesla, and what options are there, and how do they differ?
But look, I have the standard range plus, which means I have a range of 4 to 10 kilometers. When I charge to 100%, but I've only done that once, it wasn't interesting to watch. There is a standard, plus it screams and performance. I get a rear-wheel drive car, it screams, and all-wheel drive, and the power reserve is 500 Copex kilometers, but it is naturally more powerful. In that car, it's over 300 horsepower, and the performance version has a consumption of up to 100 kilometers, which is around 3.3 seconds, I think. The consumption is about 44 kilowatt per 100 kilometers, and then there's the standard plus. I don't even know what kind of leisure he does because I haven't tested it. Yeah, I need to check, but I think it might be around 5 seconds to reach 100 kilometers. On the road, everything is slow, plus my smile. Yeah, everyone is looking, and I'm showing the camera here. The floor is completely flat. I didn't notice.
It's a completely flat floor in the back. here I am. These are the checkers for...
Magnet.
To catch up, I kept it, and there's this heating feature. I see for the rear windows, but not for the front ones. They check the field. I rejected it. Yeah, I earned more with Optima. Or now, if you earn more with Caplus, well, look at the tests on Optima.
I work completely differently. Nails metal, long range, but the wing washed away 7 orders to make and earn a good amount. I can once minus make 15 orders there and do the same. But with the Optima I was spending on gas, or rather on petrol, and then 900 rubles on gas. That's about 1500 to 2000. Here I charge for free and parking is free for me. I'm not interrupting because of our fear. Actually, there are a lot of advantages, yeah. It's not like you're stuck in traffic on a toll road. It's faster. Application.
It probably breaks down less than a gasoline car, but here it just breaks down less, not as much. Yeah, so there's no TVS. There are a lot of engine details there.
Here, everything is a bit simpler, but actually they break down too. I'm driving and I hear something rattling in the right passenger door, but I can't figure it out. My buddy and I took apart the door. Everything seems fine. It's all in place. We took off the speaker and the window regulator guide wasn't screwed in. So there was a sound like that on the metal. Well, that's unpleasant, of course. What's your monthly payment for the Tesla? For the Tesla, I have 77 months. Oh, 7 years, that's the only one. 7 years, she sent it a month. Yeah. So yeah, I'm actually planning to pay it off faster. So even if I just pay an extra 20, it will be paid off for me, right? And there will definitely be 2 faster. I didn't calculate anything per day in match, but if you pay more, it will be paid off faster.
Do you only work with Yandex, or do you use a different system?
I tried to earn money with Citic, but I didn't like it. In Citic, I'm still going to do a couple of orders just for the content. Still with Yandex, I'm more confident that I'll make money than I did with Citic.
Consistently more orders, never...
Yeah. More orders and chances. What are you going to earn? Of course not either.
So you decided to buy a Tesla specifically, not another car?
Maybe somewhere. 6 months ago, I made a video with a guy who drives a Tesla, and he took me for a ride, and I was like, man, I want a Tesla too. But at that moment, I couldn't even think that I would ever get a Tesla for myself. Then it just happened that I get approved for a loan. I'm like, man, I have to go for it. At first, I was thinking about getting a Camry, but then I thought, man, I could get a Tesla for the same money. First of all, for the content.
Unusual.
Yeah, it's unusual. If you're just filming about taxis, then the competition is just insane. Channels are popping up like mushrooms every day, just like that. And they are no different. Yeah, just conflicts. Yeah, mostly conflicts and earnings. Get a Mercedes E-Class. Well, it gives you emotions, but not quite like that.
There are already hundreds of them in Moscow.
Yeah, and there aren't that many from ESSO actually. Plus, there aren't that many of them in taxis. 120,000 rubles and you have a completely different car. You can flash it, make a full autopilot. Here you finish navigation, let's say figuratively speaking, the Kremlin to well. There is a red kidney. It shows, and you can press the button. Right now I can't do it because I don't have a full autopilot. And you press the panel. It drives itself. You pay 120,000 rubles. And it will recognize Russian signs, and it will be fully functional. You'll be able to... It will change lanes by itself. It will park itself.
You pay 120,000 for someone? That's the forecast.
The programmers are there in the service. Yeah, I'm flashing it, not quite.
It's going to work.
Yeah, it will all work, and there's a guarantee for that. So if something goes wrong, they kind of install it.
I didn't think there would be Teslas driving around here in Moscow. I only rode on a catamaran and also called a taxi in Dubai. It's called the Uber, Eco, Tariff, such a salon. Leather. Nice. And this is real leather. To be honest, I don't know. Probably not. But it's very nice, including the color. It's just awesome. So there's something unusual here. I noticed that it's different from other cars. For example, the airbag that goes off.
Give it.
It's fun to mess around with friends.
I picked it up, we're serving, I drove to the charger, charged it all up first and figured out that I had an American mirror on it. It brings the bodies very close so you can't see what's actually happening. So the dead zone or whatever, the blind spot is really big. I'm changing lanes like this looking and I don't see any cars. but I didn't think to check the camera here. Well, I'm just not used to the car yet. And I start to change lanes, and there's a car there. You see the Tesla, well, the sensors, the car takes the wheel by itself. Well, it steers me back into my lane. That is, it is, well, this kind of protection from fools is called, I guess, let's call it that. So it just wouldn't let me change lanes into the other car. It just steers me back into my lane by itself. And like, stop. How quickly does it lose value? Unlike other cars I've been listening for years. This is actually a good question because everything depends on the condition. I already told you that yes, you can check it by VIN and see how it was hit, what its mileage is. Yeah, it depends on how it was bought in the US. If it was well restored, then it won't lose value that much. Because firstly, I have 21 years, now 19 years are on sale, and you can buy 19 years for 3, and mine wasn't heavily damaged. I'll send you the photos later, or you can look it up yourself. It wasn't heavily damaged, the bumper just came off like completely in the opposite direction.
Yeah, the hood froze.
Yeah, I have no idea what happened to it. Actually, everything was fine, but the photos make it look light. I think it's at the end of the spectrum, but not by much. Because first of all, I got it when the exchange rate was 78 rubles. How did we get it? And right away the rate was 82. I really got lucky. I got it in Belarus, so it was cheaper. So, for example, if I sell it here now, I can sell it for more because it's already been brought here. The electronic passport has been obtained, the inspection has been passed, so it's already registered, and well, people will find it easier to buy.
So I bought it when it was available. Yeah, and you need to deal with the pressure.
Yeah, so the hassle doesn't remember. It drives fine, so they did it well, which means you can buy it.
Yeah, when waiting for a client in game, you play right.
Yeah, sometimes you can park and play solitaire. Fallout Shelter is such a simple game. Yeah, actually, you can set up a little thing here, you can buy a joystick and play racing games. For example, you can sit here, play, connect it to life for checkers or chess. It can even play chess by itself, like 2048. Remember how everyone used to play that game back in the day? So here we have Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, and the Wi-Fi has a SIM card in it. Look, here's the SIM card. It has a connection of 3G or 7. How does the Quest supply work? You had to put a SIM card in the pillow. And from that show you can write music, right? Well, you can't do that, but you can light a campfire, yeah. You can do all the romantic stuff. She's having a fit there. Yes. And it's going to be warm now. Coming to check is a cool idea, yeah. You can draw Mars. On reindeer, you ride Santa, pillow, fart pillow if you want. You can hear the sound from here, you can just watch YouTube. So right now I need Wi-Fi and can't share it because I don't have a subscription yet. I'm going to do it when they make the app, then I'll be able to watch YouTube with a clean SIM card, check Netflix, Disney, well basically Twitch, even TikTok. You can play music on Spotify, Apple Music.
How long does it take to charge fully?
Fully? Well, if we're talking about the rechargeable ones that I have that work there, 2080, yeah, so that's about 35-45 minutes for a quick charge. I charge at Madukivskaya. I usually go there, well, most of the time, maybe at the Snow Boulevard. Actually, there are a lot of chargers, but just what's convenient about it? Why did you come? I put it on charge, went to the European place, had a smoke, came back, unplugged it, and went to Ramuga.
Get access to orders and start earning with me. We're connecting walking couriers, couriers in cars, and taxi drivers. You can withdraw money right after completing the order. Write on WhatsApp and send your details. We'll connect you in 5 minutes. Park, money and taxi.
So, this is the charging device, right? This is an adapter for fast charging, and here's the sad smiley face for the Tesla connector. This is the input. For the CCS2 combo, that's the correct name. So it goes here. I have an adapter, I plug this machine in, and the Dream is charged. There is also an adapter for fast charging. One for slow charging. This is for Toy 2. I think that is like the American sad smiley. And for Type 2, charging is free. Yes, there are partners offering free charging. Basically, I can show you how many fast free chargers are there in Moscow.
Is parking free?
Yes, great, parking. So, all the open parking spots, even if they cost 1,000 rubles, will be free. So look at the number. These are fast chargers, and they're free. In fact, there are quite a lot of them. A lot. Not just the fast ones, right? Let's say not just the free ones. All locations and not just the fast ones. So look at how many chargers there are. It's actually quite a lot. I mean, really a lot.
Even Tesla doesn't have many.
Yes. You can, for example, take a look at how they are along the road to St. Petersburg. And at night during the day, actually you can go in and check. There are free chargers here. For example, I often charge here at the Kiev station. Let's say they are free right now. And here's the load. What time is it? Most often busy in the evening, and there are 3 fast chargers. You arrive. Well, even if they're occupied, it's about 20 minutes. By the way, there are 3 fast chargers here, and there's also a parking lot for taxis nearby. So, you get up, right? And while I'm charging, I go to the European place to have lunch, and the paid parking is also free for me.
We drove to Kievskaya to show how a Tesla charges. It was on a Sunday, so we got there quickly. The roads were clear. Are you making a reservation there?
Yes, I press start session here to schedule, and I have 5 minutes. To get there, you can go straight there right now and turn around, but you can also go through the hotel.
How will the system understand what exactly you need?
I'll press start charging later. It's actually just that.
There's another Tesla charging. And here's the charging, so there's actually enough space here. Of course.
I've already taken it, and now to open the hatch, Opa, and everything opened up.
We're not far from Kievsky station. Now you'll see how it charges. You pull it out, right? Yeah. There's no button. Here's the hose.
Yeah, and the adapter is changing
You put on the adapter and plug it in.
here in the waters.
Yeah, after the rain.
Yeah, I set something up, and now it's in the app.
And you can fully charge it up to...
Well, yeah, I'm pressing activate, and that's it. The charging will start now.
In 45 minutes, while you're having lunch, you can conveniently charge it right at the taxi parking. It also opens with a touch screen. Yeah, right. Now let's see how the hood opens and how much space there is where the engine is. Yeah, there's no engine here as you can see, but this is the towing bolt. You can open it with a regular button and access the inside. Yeah, if someone is going to be sitting there, well, no one changed anything on the floor. Yes, and there is nothing at the back if you open it normally. The Tesla is charged.
And we pull out, we don't have any button when you can block it through an adapter. Here too, there is this blocker. That is where they insert us to simply block, and so it turns out it can be much shorter.
We were standing here chatting near these swings, and then some girls and guys came up to us. Everyone took pictures. First of all, this is a Tesla. Secondly, it's a taxi, which is something unusual. We are currently at Kievskaya with Alex. The parking here is quite tight. Do you know how much it costs? Expensive parking. I'm paying for parking besides us.
We parked here for free. We could have parked over there, of course. Cars are charging, so it's generally not good to park in spots where other cars are charging, but any electric vehicle can park for free. Or can it not?
The Chinese can do it too. Interestingly. But the yellow color really suits it. Such a light, bright shade, as if it's been tuned. Now let's move on. There's also wireless charging here. I just placed my iPhone here and it's charging. Well, the charging starts right away. Conveniently for 2 phones.
So, you can easily plug in all the adapters here. It's not a byte meta, right? You can also put something in the glove compartment of my full.
It's convenient. Yes, but it only closes manually. There's no drive. In short, this is the video we shot on Tesla. I really liked it because the car is unusual. Basically, I've asked all the questions I wanted to. And you can write in the comments. Maybe we'll shoot another video. What details are you interested in? He has a channel, Alex does. I'll leave the link in the description. Still, go ahead and subscribe. Yeah, subscribe. So I was blown away that he has a rating of 5. By the way, how long have you been working in a taxi?
Well, overall, a year. Well, maybe a bit more. Well, you haven't hit me up about the debt yet. I haven't worked for half of this month because I was preparing the car for the taxi. So I was waiting a long time for my license to be ready. So my license was only ready on the 15th.
Thank you for watching. I hope the video was helpful. Make sure to write what the next video should be about. All the necessary links are in the description and in the pinned comment.